If you are waiting for a sign, this is not it. You may have seen those posters that go around on social media which talk about if you're waiting for a sign, this is it, and all of the rest of those things. You know what? This is not that kind of video, because you may not necessarily get the sign that you want to start that project, to bring on that new set of products that you want to launch for your coaching business, bring on a coach, consultant, mentor for you to work with. Hey, it's Rishi Patel, founder of Selling in Alignment, where I work with coaches and consultants to reprice and package their services so they can discover and live their wider purpose in life. So I'm really excited about getting into this Intention Monday. We're going to talk about flow like water. You know, lessons on movement, adaptability, persistence, that we can all learn from looking and observing water. Nature is such a powerful teacher for us, and there's so many lessons that it's abundant with that we can apply into our coaching businesses. Not only into our coaching or consulting business, but also into life as well. The way in which we can really just take these beautiful lessons, the way in which we can apply what nature has to give us so fully, so abundantly. We can just give, and we can take, and we can just look and really just draw from this as a beautiful, powerful, incredible teacher. So let's get straight into this. One of the first things about water is that it doesn't wait. It doesn't procrastinate. It doesn't look for a sign. It doesn't look for someone to wave a green flag to say go. It doesn't wait for all of those lights to turn green on the road before it launches that product, before it takes that product to market, before it just ultimately ends up leveling its own self up, right? Nature doesn't wait. Nothing in nature waits. Everything in nature is constantly moving. Does anything in nature wait for a sign to go? No, right? If you look sometimes when you're driving through rural country roads, you'll see cows just randomly walk across the road from one field to the next. They don't care, right? It just happens. Nature keeps moving. It just keeps going. And water, more than anything, is this incredible element that continuously finds a way. It just finds a way, regardless of whether it's over, around, or even through obstacles. Nature is going to find a way. Look at riverbeds that have been being created for thousands of years with the river just flowing through. It just continues to chip away slowly. And what can we take from this is that ordinary things done consistently produce extraordinary results. I'll never forget the first time I saw that quote from one of my first mentors in business, incredibly successful gentleman. I consulted for him back in 2010. And I just saw that the way that he just kept chipping away at his business model, just ordinary things done consistently. It applies to everything in life, by the way. You go to the gym and you want to grow like arms or whatever it is that you want to do in the gym. Like, you pick up those weights and you just chip away at working slowly. You'll increase the weight, you'll get stronger, that muscle will start to build. And what will happen over a period of time is that you'll grow that muscle. Why? It's inevitable, right? If you lift the right weights, if you take the right protein, the muscle's got to tear, it's got to rebuild, it will become stronger, harder, bigger, and it's just going to take time. So ordinary things, picking up a dumbbell, doing the bicep curl, like ordinary things done consistently over a period of time will produce extraordinary results. Water teaches that to us. What's an example of an ordinary thing that I do consistently? Intention Monday. So one of the things I want to be known for in the world is running Intention Monday, right? Like Rishi Patel, you can count on him to show up in my inbox on Monday. He's done a powerful live, and even if I listen to just 45 seconds, I'm going to feel re-energized for not only the day, but the entire week ahead. I'm going to set up an intention strong for how I want to show up this week. I'd love to know in the comments below, what are you taking from this, right? Like, what are you taking from Intention Monday today? What are you going to apply? What lessons does water teach you personally? Is it something that I haven't covered? What are you going to take and apply to your day? That's what I really want to see. So like, tell me what that looks like for you. One of the other beautiful things about water is that it just, as I said, it finds a way. It flows around obstacles, right? So sometimes in business and life, we're going to face situations where we have a rigid approach and that fails, right? Maybe we only have for example, one approach to getting a webinar up and running. Well, we'll have one approach to getting clients on board. And maybe those Facebook ads that we're running no longer are working. Now we need something else. Maybe people are not buying our offer the same level to which they used to. And now we need something else. So what is it that we can do to adapt? Because that's what water is teaching us to adapt. There's a different approach. There's a different way. There's a different way I need to be showing up. Right? And is it with more humility? Do I need to be able to put my hand up and say, hey, you know what? Like this year, what I'm going to do differently is take on being around coaches, consultants who are successfully raising their game. They're repricing, they're repackaging themselves. They're showing up as a different version of themselves for humanity altogether. Right? To work with a coach, consultant, mentor that's going to been there, done it before, can lead me on that journey, can shortcut a bunch of years off my life. And it may be uncomfortable, and yet we still do it. Again, nature doesn't understand this concept of comfortable and uncomfortable. It just keeps moving. It just keeps going and it just keeps growing. Imagine, it's the nature of nature to just keep moving. And so we need to take lessons from that. We need to look at water and the nature of water and take lessons from that. It reminds me of that famous Bruce Lee quote, which is, when you put water into the teapot, it becomes the teapot. Right? Water can flow or water it can crash. And he says, be water, my friend. It's true, isn't it? It's so adaptable. It's so flexible. It's so able to just move in a really, really, really powerful way. And so we completely love that way that water continuously shows up. And it just keeps going and it just keeps flowing. Imagine, there's another saying in life as well that says, just keep going, just keep flowing. It's taken from water. That's what water does. Water just keeps going, water just keeps flowing. Can you see the lessons that we can draw and we can apply? Like, let's say, for example, we're working with a coaching client and they're showing up not potentially in the way that you would like them to, right? Or they're not getting assignments done, or they're not showing up on time, or whatever it is, right? And so then, they bring it to you and they say, look, I can't do X, Y, and Z because of the way that you're showing up, and, you're doing X, Y, and Z, and, it's your fault. And so they're inside of that space, and that's okay as well. Like, how can we then be adaptable? How can we shift the dynamic? How can we change that energy, that environment, to connect them then to a possibility that will leave them touched, moved, and inspired to level their game up, not only for themselves, but for the impact that they want to create in the world? And that's the thing that I want to get through on this Intention Monday. It's very important for us to be able to have that power inside of us to stand for something greater than ourselves. This is what we get as entrepreneurs. It's a very beautiful space to be in, where we get to impact the lives of people. And specifically for service-based businesses, this is absolutely true. We get to make an impact in the lives of people directly through the business that we have. We get to change their lives. We get to get them a shift. And I know it's true for every single person that Selling in Alignment gets to work with, that comes into the Selling in Alignment energy. I know for a fact that their lives are impacted. They're going to take something away from that space to be able to level themselves up. Will they get the massive transformation through Selling in Alignment? Maybe not. And that's okay. Maybe they'll go to the next coach, consultant, mentor to take them to the next level, and that's okay too. Like, what can we do to plug this together for them? What can we do to serve? And we get to do that with every single second. And that's the thing that water is continuously doing as well, because it just keeps moving, right? It just keeps serving its purpose, which is to continue to flow, which is continue to nourish. Water never stands still. Even you take a cup of water, you drink it, it's still not standing still. It's going through your body, and then you're becoming the water, and it's absorbing into your cells, and then your cells are moving, and then it just doesn't stop, right? It just keeps moving. It just keeps flowing. So be water, my friend, as Bruce Lee says. Let's really take that. And it's small actions that lead to big results. It just keeps flowing through those water beds until it finds the path, until it gets to the place that it wants to get to and merges back into that bigger ocean, right? And so what can we do to take just an element of this from our Intention Monday, apply it into our week as well? It's something that I'm continuously striving towards, continuously working up towards, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be with it yet. And yet I will keep showing up and reminding myself through Intention Mondays that we can show up and we can become powerful. So there is power in movement. It doesn't stagnate. Water doesn't stagnate, right? In life and in business, anything that stands still in nature dies. It withers away. It's finished, right? Things cannot stand still in nature because then it will decay, right? And so isn't this true of our mindset, our skills, our strategies? Like, don't we need to just be leveling up all the time, like doing something that's challenging ourselves? And then what we're doing is sending a signal out to the universe, as many of my clients have done, to say, hey, I'm going to be uncomfortable, I'm going to take on this coaching program, and I'm going to level my game up for my clients. And as soon as they do that, they get a massive shift. That's it from me. Until the next time, keep selling in alignment.